G'day folks, it's the Maple Monkey here again with another One Piece United gameplay video for you. So we've got some One Piece United Homebrew stuff for the Marvel United game system, so we're going to get stuck into that. So a little while ago I did a video featuring One Piece, some of the heroes there designed. I think they were all designed by xnellynelx in that game we played, and we played against Arlong, who's actually an existing Marvel United we played against Namor, I should say, who was filling in for Arlong, and Namor is actually a Marvel United hero there. So this time we're actually going to be going up against an actual One Piece villain by the name of Buggy the Clown, and I've got a series of these battles that I'm planning on going through with the One Piece stuff that the homebrewers Helios 23 and xnellynelx have been putting together. So we'll go through those, and I'll try and get them done sort of, I guess, in chronological order. So we're starting with Buggy the Clown, who is one of the first villains that Luffy takes on in the manga and in the anime. And so that's what we're going to see today. I also plan on revisiting some of the heroes. I guess we'll do some more hero showcase videos just to show off the content that people are working on there as well. We did a recent villain showcase, and I just want to sort of update and do a better version of the hero showcase that I put up a little while ago. I think it was like a live stream, so we'll get that done. And I guess the other thing is someone recently asked if I would look into Man Spider as a villain as well. So they pointed me in the direction of where to find that on Dave's Marvel United Homebrew compendium, and sure enough, there he was. So we'll have a look at that too. Lots of stuff going on, tons of homebrew stuff people are working on, and we might have a look at that at the end. So if you want to check that sort of stuff out, make sure you stick around or skip to the end of the video, and I'll go through a bunch of the current projects that people have got going on. But let's get into this one. So we have, like I mentioned, Buggy the Clown. So this is designed by xnellynelx, I believe. So we've got Buggy the Clown here. This is him, a rather menacing figure here. And we're playing with 3 heroes today. We'll try and get that zoom in there. So he's starting with 7 health, and if we have a look here with his special setup, he's got place both chop tokens in Buggy's starting location. So Buggy is a pirate captain who's eaten the devil fruit, which in One Piece, devil fruits sort of give you superpowers. And the devil fruit that he's eaten is called the chop fruit, which basically allows him to be chopped into pieces and sort of send his body parts flying around, and it doesn't do him in. It actually sort of helps him out, so he can send parts of his body flying around and cause all sorts of trouble there. So that's what these chop tokens are going to represent. So we basically are going to set him up in his starting location with these 2 chop tokens. There is some supervillain stuff here that xnellynelx has provided, but we won't be using that today. Let's have a look at his special rules. So when a hero is KO'd, Buggy doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, he plays another master plan card face down in the storyline. And if we have a look at the overflow, if one or more civilian or thug tokens can't be added to a location, play another master plan card face down in the storyline. So essentially, he's got no villainous plot. He's really just going to be trying to race out his deck, basically sort of finish the game early, and he's going to achieve that by overflowing and knocking us out. So let's have a look here. How does he BAM us? Well, each chop token moves 1 location in the direction. You can see a little slight typo there, but I'm sure we can get that fixed up pretty quickly, pretty easily, I should say. Let's see, it moves 1 location in the direction of the arrow on the token, and you'll see those in just a sec as well. Then deal 1 damage to a hero in each location with a chop token. So when he BAMs, each chop token moves 1 location in the specified direction, and then it deals a damage to each hero. To a hero in each location. Okay. Now, if both chop tokens, so as they spin around the board, they're going to be sort of meeting up at certain points. So as that happens, if both chop tokens are in the same location, deal 2 damage to 1 hero in that location instead. So they essentially, each one does a damage to 1 hero, and if they both end up in the same location, they're going to hit that hero for 2. So that's pretty simple. I really like the simplicity of this design. It's a really not very complicated, just allows you to sort of get straight in and start playing, and it's pretty easy to understand. So we'll have a look at these now. I'm pretty sure I've printed these wrong. I think I've printed them way too big. You can see they sort of almost take up the whole location, but they make it nice and easy on the screen here. We're not going to miss them. So and here you can see these arrows, these things here, and essentially these are his hands essentially flying around with these daggers that he's got with him. So he's got one here and one here, and this is the fantastic little Buggy figurine. These are like the little gacha, I don't know if they're gacha or gashapon things you can get in Japan. And this is a Buggy the Clown version here, so that's pretty cool. Oh, actually, congratulations to, I should have mentioned in the couple of videos ago, I held a competition and only one person entered with this massive channel that I've got here. So one person entered, so that person, you know, the 2 sweetest words in the English language, default, they were able to win. So Darnell, I think it was Darnell F, congratulations to you, buddy. I believe that stuff has already arrived. I got a notification from Ozpost saying that it had arrived at its destination. So I hope you're enjoying those figures, and as you can see, as we go through all this One Piece content down the track, there'll be plenty of content for you to use those figures in on your gaming table. So yeah, happy gaming, bud. You got to be in it to win it. So that was pretty cool. So and I think I actually did send him I had a couple of not spares, but extra sort of models and stuff. I think I sent him a different version of Buggy as well. So I think he's got a copy of Buggy. So Darnell, if you're watching this, you'll be able to play this battle yourself at home. So now let's have a look here. So that's Buggy. We're going to be going up against, at least with these first videos, I'm going to try and make sure that we use the heroes that were actually sort of present at the time. So in Luffy's Straw Hat Pirate crew, he only had 2 or 1.5 crew members at this stage. It was Luffy himself, and he had Zoro, his first crew member, his first mate, I guess, legendary swordsman, bounty hunter, and master of the 3 sword style. I don't know if you can see that, he's rocking around with 3 swords. And Nami. Now he meets Nami at this point in the storyline, but Nami doesn't technically sign up, doesn't really join his crew at this point, but she's still sort of hanging around. So she's doing her own thing. So she's going to be part of the team today. And let's have a look at the scenario. In terms of the threat cards we're dealing with, we've got Splitting Human. So he's got 2 of these cards. As long as as long as Buggy is in this location, he can't be damaged. This represents the fact that because he can sort of split his body up however he likes, if you try and slice him, he just kind of is immune to that. So he's pretty tough. So he's got a couple of locations that make him invulnerable. So if he's in this spot, he can't be damaged. So if we don't deal with those, that's going to give him a few safe spots. And I believe that one is over here as well. So these are the 2 Splitting Human locations. We've got Orange Town, which is the town that he's currently sort of lording it over in the anime. So that's sort of like his home base, I guess, for this scenario. Although it's not actually specified in the actual rules, so we're just using it there. So he's got the Splitting Human there, and he's also got Fuchsia Village, which isn't really part of this scenario, but it's where we first meet Luffy in the story, so I figured we'll chuck that in. Now we have here a henchman, so this is actually 2 henchmen, Moji and Richie. So Moji's the sort of beast tamer up the top here, and Richie is the big lion. They've come in with 3 health. They've got a BAM effect here, deal 2 damage to 1 hero in this location. Then Moji and Richie gain 1 health, but they can't go above their starting value. So they sort of feed on you, I guess. And then when Moji and Richie only have 1 health remaining, their BAM only deals 1 damage. Okay. Now that's in Party's Bar. So again, the show kind of starts off with Luffy as a kid in Party's Bar. So I believe that's right anyway. So that's where we're going to start today. We also have chucked in a couple of other locations here. We've got Shimotsuki Village and Ishin Dojo, which I believe is either in or nearby Shimotsuki Village, and that's where Zoro grows up. So again, not really part of this storyline, but we chucked it in. And then Shellstown is where they've just come from in the story. That was their first sort of big boss they fought at the very beginning of the show. So Shellstown is just another sort of early on location. Let's have a look at the last couple of threats before we dive in. We've got the ground hugging Chop Chop. So there are 2 copies of this as well. If there is a Chop Chop token in this location, heroes using movement to leave this location must use 2 movement instead. So this is one of those locations that slows you down exiting it, but only if the Chop Chop token is in this spot. So the splitting human relies on Buggy being there. The ground hugging Chop Chop, which is both in Shellstown and Shimatsuki village, they rely on the actual Chop Chop tokens. Now, if we have a look at our last threat, that's Kabaji. I think I'm saying that right. It's been a while since I've seen those episodes, so I can't really remember how this guy's name is pronounced. But he's got 4 health, and he deals 1 damage to a hero in this location, and he deals damage to hero in each adjacent location. So I can't remember if he throws these swords around, or if it maybe just represents the fact that he's speedy on this little unicycle there. So there we go. So that's what he's bringing to the party with his threats. And we're going to dive in now. We've seen most of these guys before. I actually did use Luffy and Nami. I think it was just those 2 actually. Was it? Yeah, it might have been just those 2 in the first battle we played. And we're going to use the same one. So we're still going to use xnellynelx's design, even though Helios 23 has also done designs of the Straw Hat crew as well. But I just figured, A, I've printed these ones off nicely, and B, these sort of represent the characters. I mean, not totally, but these characters are a little bit sort of maybe less powerful, I guess, or, you know, maybe not as overtly powerful. And so I figured they sort of represent Luffy before. A bit of a spoiler here, so if you don't want any One Piece spoilers, maybe skip ahead. But there's a bit of a time skip at one point in the show, and this kind of I feel like these characters kind of represent an earlier representation. So that's what we'll go with there. Notice we do have a bottom of the deck card as well, so I'm going to put that down. We've just been doing some shuffling, and we'll get our hand of 3 cards ready here. So 1, 2, 3, and Luffy does have. Oh, you know what I've just realised as well. I did this before when I was playtesting, and Helios 23 called me out on it. We've got the Straw Hat, we've got all of the equipment cards today, and I keep forgetting to take the double wilds out when I'm playing with these, so I'll have to do that. Yeah, we've got his Straw Hat here, so it basically lets you look through the deck and look for certain cards, and then put them face down on the bottom of your deck and at the top of your deck as well. So lets you sort of do a little bit of searching of your deck there, but we'd better, speaking of searching, we better search for these double wilds. Here they are. Alright. Phew. Alright, almost forgot. Alright, so let's see how we go with our 1, 2, 3. Could really use a double wild. They're pretty handy. Okay. So we've got our 3 cards there. Now, Nami doesn't have any starting hand cards or other bits and pieces, so let's just get her. Oh, what have we done with it? What did I do? Oh, I've left it on the table. It stayed on the table, and of course it's the double wild. All right, so well, there you go. It would have been last. Okay, and we'll shuffle. Not doing a very good shuffle here. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3. And Zoro. Now Zoro, this version of Zoro, we haven't used Zoro yet on camera. So Zoro is a world famous swordsman, and he's got a goal to become the actual best swordsman in the world, sort of thing. So, and he's developed this 3 sword style that he thinks is going to help him get there, which essentially involves him holding a sword in each hand and then putting a 3rd sword in his mouth. I don't know how he wields it, but it always looks spectacular when he's in the show. So we'll see how he goes. Now, again, there are different versions of this character by different homebrewers, and this one does not have a starting hand card. So we've got, oh, sorry, almost forgot to look for the, where is it? Did I leave it on the table? No, there it is. Okay. Got our double wilds Okay, we'll call those in if we need them. We'll have them just waiting off to the side as backup. Okay, if things are going really pear-shaped against Buggy here. All right, 1, 2, 3. So 3 swords there. And we've seen the climb attack before on camera as well. So this is, Nami has this staff that she gets later on in the series that allows her to sort of control the weather. So that's gives her use of these extra symbols here, which is, I find this quite a powerful card. It's pretty good. And then Zoro, he's got these different sword fighting styles, and this, his Wado, Ichimonji, I'm butchering that, I'm sure. It sort of ties in with that. So you may swap one card in your hand with one of your face-up sword style cards in the storyline. Okay, then turn this card face down. So it essentially encourages you to play the sword style card, so you've got them down in your storyline, and then you can pick them back up again, sort of thing, I guess. So there we go. All right, well, let's get down to the table and see what Buggy's got in store for us. Okay, so we'll just put our starting hands. We'll just see what we've got too. I should have pointed these out. We've got a move and a punch, and another move and a punch. So she's diversifying there, and Nami's also got a single wild. Now Zoro's got a double punch. He's also got a double star. And here we go, we've got a sword style. So I'll just hold that up for a little bit so you can get a good look at it, hopefully. There we go. And it basically says if you have more than 3 cards in hand, discard down to 3, deal damage to a single target in your location, or deal 1 damage in your location and both adjacent locations. And all these cards sort of play on this idea of the number. So 3 sword style, you can see there, you can essentially, it forces you to have 3 cards in your hand if you've got more. And also it lets you deal 3 damage to a single target, or you can deal that 3 damage split across locations. And the other sword styles also do an interesting effect, but dealing with the number 1, dealing with the number 2, and there's a little bonus card as well, which we won't get into just yet. We'll see if it turns up. And let's have a look at Luffy here. What's he got? He's got a move and a star. So it looks like we've drawn fairly good hands in terms of, we've got a lot of these double action cards. We've got a move and a punch. And then we've got gear 3. So Luffy, if you've seen our previous video, Luffy sort of goes through these different gears powering himself up, and they each give a different ability. This one is gear 3, which gives him, his punches do 2 damage instead of 1. However, that's only as long as this card is face up in the storyline, and it's our most recent gear card. So if we play this down, we get its ability, but if we play another gear card later on, we lose this ability, and it gets replaced with the previous one. Alright, quite an interesting, mate. I really enjoyed this system. I think xnellynelx has come up with a winner with this one. It's really fun sort of planning it out and trying to sort of time your placement of those cards. Alright, well, let's see what Buggy has to say about that. I'm a bit nervous about this double damage BAM starting in this location, because if we get a BAM here, we're in a bit of trouble. Oh, yep, I think so. Alright, so let's have a look. So Buggy is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to BAM. Now when he BAMs, he moves his chop chop token, so they're going to go 1 here and 1 in this direction. They're not actually, he doesn't actually do any damage himself. It's just his chop chop tokens there. And they're not dealing any damage to anyone else there, so that's fine. But this is where we have a problem. We've got Kabaji is going to be dealing a damage here and in both adjacent locations. Luckily they're clear at the moment, but unfortunately Moji and Richie are going to be dishing out some pain here. So unfortunately someone's got to take 2 hits. Everyone's got a really good starting hand, but I think what I'd like to do... Oof. Alright. Luffy, I think we're going to keep your gear card there. And I think Luffy's going to take the hit. Alright, we're going to put... what do we want? We want the move and punch towards the top, I guess. So we'll put those under there. So he's going to take 2 hits. He's only got 1 card left. Alright, and then we've got a bunch of thugs being placed. So 2 thugs... Oh no. So we've got 1 thug here. And that causes an overflow. So that's going to go here. It's an extra card going face down. And then, oh my goodness, we've got 2 overflows straight up. Unfortunately, these locations that we're playing with, that's going to cause an overflow there too. So that's not great straight off the bat. xnellynelx, when he designs his locations, he really likes to have a lot of them starting full or almost full. So... yeah, thanks for that, xnellynelx. Really appreciate it. Okay, but there you go. So Buggy's not messing around. He's hit us for 2 damage and put out 2 extra cards. Oh, that is a rough start. Okay, well, speaking of starts, it's now Luffy's turn. Luffy's just drawn a single wild. I think we may as well get this gear thing happening, right? It's not going to help us now, but we can rescue this civilian with the heroic. Now when we do punches with Luffy, he's going to be doing 2 damage when he does that, so that's not too bad. And what we can do is we can search our deck. We may as well spend this. I should have been thinking the flip condition of this hat is when another hero is KO'd, and Luffy's the one who's most likely to get KO'd here, so that was probably a tactical misplay, but we'll do this anyway. So we'll draw the top 2 cards. Ooh, we've got a double punch, and we've got a move and a punch. I think we may as well take a move and a punch at this stage. Since we're going to need movement to get maybe to... So let's say we're going to go over here and fight Cabbagey. We need movement to get there. He's doing 2 damage each with his punches, but I feel like Moji might be gone by the time Nami and Zoro have had their round. So yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll put the double punch underneath, and we'll put the move and punch on top, and we know that's the next card we're getting for Luffy. Alright, so Nami's going to draw a card at the start of her turn. She gets a Mirage Tempo. Interesting. So you cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. At the end of the villain's next turn, you may move to an adjacent location. Interesting. So what Nami could do, considering these Chop Chop tokens are coming around, Nami could use this Mirage Tempo to move herself. See, if anyone moves to these locations now, they're going to get hit by these Chop Chop tokens if Buggy does a BAM. So, but if we send her out, let's say this place is pretty full, so we probably want to start dealing with this. So if we maybe move her in this direction, and when the Chop Chop token comes this way, she can avoid it. It would also be handy going this way. It would also be handy going that way just to cash in on the fact that Cabbagey couldn't be hurting us either with the Mirage Tempo. But I just don't feel like I want to send her that way. It's a bit dicey. She can block, 1 turn's worth of damage, but I don't know about putting her in too much danger. So we'll go this way. So she's moved with the movement. She's landed in Buggy's location. She's sneaking around behind him, looking for his treasure. And she's going to put 2 heroics into play here. Now, is she going to put 1 on? We don't want any more overflows, so maybe she's going to rescue 1 and put one heroic down. Yeah, okay. Just keeping away from this overflow if we can. Alright. Oh, now I didn't think about this. Interesting. The climate act. The climate act can let me play another move, a star, and a punch. So I could actually completely clear this location and do another punch. Which would give me whatever's on this village too. That's interesting. So instead of rescuing here, I could do that. That's an interesting choice. Clearing this. I could still drop that down by using the punch instead of the rescue. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Yeah, let's maybe do that instead. Alright, let's use the climate act, which lets us... Well, let's see if we can actually do this. So where were we? We were here. Okay. So if I use the climate act, I can move, put a star down, and do a punch. Let's put this guy back. And do a punch. So that's here, 1, 2, 3. Now I can actually use what Nami's bringing to the table here, which is 2 more heroics. We won't be using that movement if this location is a decent location though. So let's find out, because we probably want to stay where we are. We do clear a threat though. Alright. You may move one location closer to the villain or draw a card if the villain is off. Well, don't mind if I do, Buggy. Alright, so draw a card. Yeah, why not? If only Luffy could do that. Okay, so draw a card if the villain is in this location. Oh, well, there we go. We got a single star. Okay, not great, but also pretty handy having an extra card, which is essentially like an extra health for us. Okay, so Buggy's not too happy with that. What's old Zoro going to do? Zoro draws a move and a punch. Okay. I think Zoro might stay where he is because Zoro has 3 sword style. If you have more than 3 cards in hand, discard down to 3, which when we play, we're not going to have to worry about that. Because we've got 3 in hand, so that's good. Then I can deal 3 damage. Which will straight up. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is actually place this damage on the guys, but we'll get rid of 3 damage there from Moji and Richie. So Zoro slices them up. We'll put the 4 health. Always put that back in the box for old Cabbagey. Jump on the gun there, but yeah, okay. So Moji and Richie get taken out because they didn't get to gain extra health from beating up Luffy there. So that's 2 threats cleared. That's good. Yeah, good card. Let me just make sure I played that right. Is that right? So, if you have more than 3 cards in hand, discard down to 3, then deal 3 damage to a single target in your location or deal 1 damage in across 3 locations, essentially. So, I mean, to be honest, with the number of thugs and things that are out, that might be a good play, but I think this is handy. I think I'm going to do that. Now, what I also have is 2 movement and a star now as well. A heroic. So that could be handy as well. So, what's this ability? Do I stay where I am? You may swap a card from your hand with your earliest face-up card in the storyline. Oh, well, my earliest face-up card is the 3 sword style. So I could... Oh, but these are all good cards though, hey. And then this says you may swap 1 card in your hand with one of your face-up sword styles as well. So that's what his actual sword does as well. So the location and this... So I could move, I could use my 2 movement. I could go 1, 2, 1, 2. Rescue this civilian. And then I could pick up the sword style if I wanted to, but I think I want to keep these cards in my hand. Oh, what do we want to do? Like, I've got 2 stars here which could be handy for wiping that out. I've got lots of punches which is also going to be handy for this stuff. I don't think I want to swap them. I think we're going to hold off with the sword here. Or I could stay here, rescue this guy instead, and then, because Buggy's here, I could draw another card and sort of heal up. I know I'm going to get hit by this next turn, but I'm essentially blocking that hit. And I could potentially... no, okay, we'll go over here. So I'm thinking if I draw like a single card and I swap that, and I still am then going to have to lose something when I get hit by the chop chop. So I think I'd rather stay there. All right, we'll see if that's a bad play. All right, well there you go. So our first round with the Straw Hats. What have we done? We've cleared 2 threats. We've rescued 2 civilians and defeated 1 thug. And we healed up with Nami. Unfortunately, though, with his first round, he hit us for 2 on Luffy, and he's also put 2 extra cards out. So we're both getting as good as we get, I guess, here. Alright, so who's up next? It is Buggy. Alright, so let's check it out. Oh, Buggy Balls. Now, this is messing with my plan here. Okay, because I was expecting a BAM. So I was expecting this to move off so that I wouldn't have to worry about the movement effect here. I was expecting her to be able to block the BAM here, but what does this do? Deal 2 damage to all heroes in the location opposite of Buggy. Oh, that's over here. Oh, we got lucky there. And 1 damage to all heroes in locations adjacent to them. Oh my goodness. Oh no, hold on. Uh-oh. I forgot. He moves first. Alright, so I thought, oh sweet, we've completely missed there. But unfortunately, so Zoro has been too clever and he's got himself in harm's way here. So Buggy moves to this location. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. He goes this way. Yeah, hold on, I was moving that way. So, what's happening this way? Oh, no. Oh, I think Luffy's getting KO'd here. Alright, so Buggy is firing to this location, doing 2 damage. Luckily, no one's there. Then, in both adjacent locations, we get... Oh, man, so Luffy is KO'd. And KOing, what does it do? It puts another card face down in the storyline. Oh, my goodness. Alright, so Luffy gets KO'd there. Now, the reason I did choose Luffy to be my target earlier on is I want to, cycle through his cards. I'm guessing... I think this kind of cycle helps you cycle through, because I want to get to that bottom of the deck card sooner. So let's see, what else does he do? He's putting a thug in this... Oh no, hold on. He's putting a thug in this location. And a thug in this location, but unfortunately we're getting another overflow. He's putting a thug and a civilian. Thug goes out first. My goodness. Holy moly. He is racing through his deck. Oh, that's 2 turns in a row where he's hit us with 2 cards. Yikes. Okay, and the chop things didn't move either, so now, now we're still in harm's way there. Okay, well, time to wake up, Luffy. Alright, time to make a comeback. Alright, so 4 cards at the beginning of Luffy's turn. He's standing up from being KO'd. He's got Gear 2, which is... Oh, I should probably hold that up a bit longer. This is the one, I believe, where he can move to any location once per turn, and it gives him a star for this turn. Gear 4 is that he can ignore 1 damage each turn, I think. If I'm getting that right. 1 damage every turn, yeah. And then he's got a move and a punch, and a punch and a heroic. Alright, so what have we got to do? We've really got to start clearing some of this stuff. There's a lot more thugs, I feel like, out at the moment, so we might need to start dealing with them. Do we want to get a gear out? We do want to get these gears out as quick as we can, so he's doing a good job with those. Maybe we do the one where, what's he got? He's got, Zoro's giving him movement. Let's maybe place the... let's do the Gear 4, which is going to help him survive maybe a little bit longer. We can block a damage, and he can do a punch too, because I want to sort of start clearing these. So we're going to move in, punch that guy, then let's move... Let's actually use, this says you may move 1 location closer to the villain. Let's do that, so we're here to start helping out with this if we need to. Plus we're sort of hopefully avoiding the chop fruit. That's the plan. Yeah. Otherwise, playing the heroic and the punch might have been good, like moving in, doing a heroic and a punch to take those 2 down. Might have been good too. Alright, now what did we give? So we just gave Nami a punch. If we can give Nami a move and a heroic, that would be good, because then she can use the climb attack again, but she doesn't have that. But she gets to draw a card. Oh, it's just a heroic. Okay. So I guess moving and punching is the name of the game. So she could move, well, we could put them all on the 1 location. She could move and punch. That would give her 2 punches, and that would let her take out 2 of these guys, reducing this location from being full and speeding us up on the path here. But then it's not giving Zoro a lot of movement. Otherwise we could do heroic stuff. It's all... what do I... yeah. I could give her a single heroic and just clear this location. Nah, let's start wailing on these guys. So move and punch. Yeah, so she's going to move in. She's going to take out 2 of the thugs. And we really do need to start damaging these locations, these threats as well. Okay. Zoro, are you the guy to do it though? Not really. But we could, let's see what we've got here. We've got a double heroic, so let's do that. If we're not going to clear this turn anyway, we may as well rescue one civilian to help keep that down, and then put one heroic on here. The single movement isn't going to do us any good because we need 2 movement to get away from the ground hugging chop chop fruit, so we may as well spend Nami's punch there to take another thug out there as well. So we've cleared that location of all the tokens, and then hopefully, yeah, Luffy will be able to, in theory, clear this in his next turn. Yeah, alright, so let's see what happens. We didn't play a move and a punch and a star with the climb attack, so we didn't get to use that. Do we want to, now hold on a second here, we just had these 2. I think I was supposed to draw a card for Zoro. Now he's got 2 sword style. Discard or draw cards until you have only 2 in hand, so if you use this we're going to be damaging ourselves. 2 punches in your location, and then you may gain this location's end turn effect even if there's no threat card here. So I guess that's something I could have done with him, but let's just save that, and I don't think I want to use my sword yet because I want to save that for when I've got a crafty sort of 1 symbol there. Okay, so I think we're on to Buggy's turn. Oh, okay, Buggy, I really don't want you to do another one of what you did before. Okay. Trouble is, we're all in the one location now, and all of these locations are filling up, and that's where he's heading. All right, let's see. He's moving to. Oh, I probably should have held that up. Sorry, guys. He's moving to. All right, and he's bamming. So 1, 2. Chop chop flies around this way. Chop chop flies around this way. Then he's bammed. That's what his bam does. Then Cabbagey bams on either side of him, and no one's there. And then he's putting out. Oh no. Okay, a single thug in each location adjacent to him, but he can't put the 2 out that he wants to put here, so we're really racing against time here to get to hold Buggy here. Alright, Luffy, what have you got for us, buddy? A single punch. Not great. What's he going to do? What do we want Nami to do? Nami we want to do... We either want to give her a... Let's put this gear down. That's going to let us rescue. Yeah, let's do this. Alright. That's going to... We're going to play this one because this is going to give us the ability to move wherever we want once per turn. Plus... It's going to give us 3 heroics. We can use the 2 heroics from Zoro to clear this location. That's another threat down. Just got to clear 1 more threat. Then we can move wherever we want, or we could stay here. You may gain a star token if there are no thugs in this location. So I could gain a star token because there's no thugs in that location, or I've got a star that I need to spend, so I may as well move somewhere, right? Now if I go to any of these locations, Cabbagey's going to be hitting me for 1 because I'm no longer using gear 4, or gear 4 I think it was the one protecting me. Right. So that's I mean, that's not that bad. I guess we could lose this single one here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go here. We'll rescue this guy. What else could we do? We could swap a card from hand. Nah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Rescue. Just keeps that location down a little bit. Okay. Then Nami is going to 1, 2, 3, 4. So she is drawing, and we want her to move and punch now, which I did see. This is why I wanted to play this one as well, as give us the star so that Nami can do a move and a punch. And ooh, hold on a second. If I want to do, instead of coming here and clearing that location, whoopsie, let me think about this. If Luffy goes here and uses a star here instead of rescuing, then Nami can finish that one off. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Alright. So what did we say Nami was doing? Moving and punching. Alright. So she's going to move and punch and star. Now if she does this, then we can recharge the climb attack, flip it over, and then get to use the move, punch, and the star on the climb attack. So that's my plan. So she's going to move, punch, and star. Alright, so she's going to move in, because the chop ground thing isn't hugging her anymore, so she's going to move in. She punches one thug, and she puts a star down. Oh, this is problematic. I can see a problem with my plan here. Okay, she puts the star down. So she's done the move, the punch, and the star. That's great. But then she gets to flip this over and then gets another move, punch, and a star. So she can put a star here. And then she can use a punch. Now what's she going to do? Is she going to stay here and punch? Yeah, let's stay here and punch. And then let's move away from Cabbagey. Or Cabbagey. And then now she can gain a star for the fact that there's no one in that location. No thugs in that location. So that's not too bad. Okay, we've used that. Oh, that climb attack is so useful. Alright, so we haven't really dealt with this though. I was going to move in there and use the star in here, but then she's taking damage, although she is full up, isn't she? But then if I leave her here, then there's someone over here who can maybe deal with Buggy if he comes over that way. Oh. Okay. Zoro, what are you going to do, buddy? Oops, sorry. This gets cleared. Oh, end of turn effect. Oh, good thing she moved. All heroes in this location take a damage. Oh. All heroes in this location take 1 damage. Discard all civilians in this location. Well, there's no civilians there. But oh man, I'd have to check with, as far as I think how the rules go, because it's not an effect that's always in play, it's an end of turn effect. So because Nami's not there to trigger the end of turn, I don't think Luffy takes a damage. Apologies if I'm not getting the intent of, like, if the intent of this card, xnellynelx, is to you know, is for everyone just to take damage here if you're ending, like not just if you're ending your turn, but just for every end of turn sort of thing. Apologies, but I think I'm playing it correctly. I don't think Luffy takes damage because Nami didn't end her turn there. All right. Zoro, what are you going to do, my friend? Luffy is sitting pretty there. Was I supposed to draw? I think I'm supposed to draw. Okay, we've got a single movement. Well, here's the time. Now, oh, hold on. Whoa. Before I do that, I think this was the flaw with my plan was it's not Zoro's turn. It is actually, because we've cleared the 4 threats there, it is Buggy's turn because we've made him vulnerable now. Not vulnerable, sorry, we've made him under pressure. Okay, so oh, I don't like how few cards he's got. This is not good. Okay. Where is he going? What do we need to do? We need to take out a bunch of thugs, don't we? 2 thugs. 2 thugs would do it. He moves 1. Very far away from us. I don't like that. Oh no. He deals 2 damage to Nami. Oh, he's doing buggy balls again. Okay. 2 damage to Zoro and Nami. Well, luckily Nami... Let's just take 2 stars there. My goodness. Luckily Nami had a couple of extra health there. But Zoro, he's taking a big hit here. Oh, 2 sword style. Well, if we keep 2 sword style, that lets him heal essentially. Yeah, that lets him heal because we've only got 1 card, and then if we play 2 sword style, we get to draw an extra card, so that's good. Alright, I think that works. 2 sword style. Then Buggy deals, yeah, and 1 damage to Luffy, so Luffy does take a damage. Let's get rid of the single punch. Okay, what do we do? Alright, and then he's going to place, oh, I just hope he doesn't overflow. Oh, blah, man, he does overflow. I should have rescued someone here. Okay, what's he doing? I'm gonna civilian over here, yikes. And he puts 1 out. Okay. Oh, he's only got so many cards here. We've got to get him. He's got 7 health too. Alright. This is where... Whose turn is it? Zoro's turn. So Zoro, when you just had a single movement, why don't we play this one? Discard. Okay, so... 2 punches in your location. You may gain this location's end of turn effect. We've got to do 2 damage to make him vulnerable. Yikes. Okay. So, 2 sword style. Do we have movement? Ah, Nami's given us movement. So... 1 move, 1 star, 1... Yeah, okay. 2 punches. Is it a single target? 2 punches in your location. You may gain this location's end of turn effect even if there's no threat card here. Not the greatest one, but I think we're going to have to do it because we need to make him vulnerable. So Zoro's going to go here. He's going to deal 2 damage, which is enough to take out enough thugs to clear the defeat thugs mission. The villain is now vulnerable since we've completed 2 missions. So that was the move and the double, the move and the double punch from this card. We've got another punch we could use, but we don't have anywhere to go with it. And the same with the heroic, we can't really use that either, which is a shame. Then what we can do is this lets us draw another card, one sword style. Discard cards until you have only one in hand until the start of your next turn. Defeat all thugs that would be added to your location before they can be placed. Oh, that could be... Yeah, he's not in a great location for that. Because if he was here, or here, you know, that would be great for stopping the overflow there, but that's not what we need. And unfortunately, we do need... Oh, man, Buggy's probably going to get us because of this. Alright. Okay, so then let's swap this... Let's put this card in for the 3-sword style. I hope that comes in handy later on. Okay, so that's now his 2 cards in hand, but unfortunately then we end our turn here, we take a... Oh no, all heroes take a damage. That's not good. Oh my goodness, Orange Town. Oh no, that's not good. Alright, let's put it at the bottom. Not much we can do about it, we had to do it. Had to do it. 3-sword style. Deal 3 damage to a single target. I guess that's our best bet, is to hope that comes in handy somehow. Alright, Mr. Luffy has Gear 5. This is his bottom of the deck one, so this is what we need. Alright, so we need to play this, unfortunately. So we're going to now, what this lets us do is we can, I should have held that up for a bit longer, I feel like I didn't hold that long enough. So essentially this lets us use all of our previous gear cards, as long as this is our most recent gear card up there. So I believe we've got all our gear cards up. So now we can move anywhere we want once per turn. I think that's what that, I better actually make sure that's what that ability does. Once per turn you can move to any location, yep. And this one lets us, this lets us ignore 1 damage per turn, yep. Every villain turn I should say. And this one is, your actions do 2 damage instead of 1. Alright. So, oh sorry, your punch actions do 2 damage instead of just 1. So we were here. We essentially want to fly over this way. We will use our heroic to rescue here. I'd really rather be rescuing here, but that's not on the cards. And then we're going to do 2 damage, because we're going to do 1 damage with this as a punch, and punches do 2 damage, so now he's got 5 health left. Alright, but unfortunately he's now getting a turn. Alright, so what's he going to do? He's moving 4, which is not great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move the chop chop tokens to the location with the most heroes. Oh, heroes chosen a tie. Deal 2 damage to all heroes in the chop chop location. My goodness. Oh no. Okay. So let me think about this. Alright, so he's moved 4. He's not dropping anyone, so that's good. But I think we're in a bit of trouble here, because if Luffy takes a hit, he's taken 2 damage, right? 2 damage to all heroes in the chop chop location. So if he goes, if the chop chop tokens go there, Luffy gets to ignore 1 hit, but 1 would be enough to take him down. If they go for Nami. Nami is only got 2 health as well, and Zoro's only got the 1, so either way someone's getting KO'd, which means he's playing a card face down, which means we don't get another Buggy turn. He wins if we don't take him out with Zoro and Nami. So there's no point trying to cycle through, because Luffy's what we need, because he's it's such a shame, because he's dealing 2 damage with every punch. Man, 2 damage with every punch. Whereas Nami, I don't think she's got it in her. We can deal the damage to her, put the cards at the bottom of her deck, and then she gets to draw 4, but I don't think she's got anything in here that's going to be dealing that much damage. And unfortunately Zoro is, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Alright, so the Chop Chop tokens are going to go flying at Nami. Gets caught red-handed trying to steal the treasure. She gets KO'd. That places the last of Buggy's, I think I'm getting this right, last of Buggy's cards here. Hopefully I'm not cheating. Oh, sorry, here. Then... alright. So, then we have, who's next? After, oh, it's Nami first, then Zoro. Oh, interesting. Buggy might have helped us out here by going to where Zoro's standing with his 3-sword style. Alright. And I did pick up that 3-sword style too, didn't I? Oh, and you know what? Someone just got KO'd there. I think Nami got KO'd. Which lets us flip the straw hat up, but we don't get to use it because, yeah, Luffy's still having a... He's not going to get another turn. Alright, so Nami gets to draw. So Nami's going to get a wild here. So she's got enough. She can move. Can she do like 2 damage? Is that at the bottom? I think that was at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. And she's got this wild here too. Which is not wild, this heroic. Which she's not going to be able to do much with. So she wakes up. She's got a cyclone tempo, which gives her a star. Oh, that's alright. This is actually... Okay. She's got a cyclone tempo with a star, which is what we want to do, is we want to give Zoro as much... We want to do as much punching with her and give Zoro as much punches as well, right? So she could do a cyclone tempo, which is pretty good. Look at this ability. 1 punch in every location. That's amazing. She's got the Mirage tempo, which could stop her from getting hit, which not that helpful at this stage. Moving a heroic, again, not really that helpful. But this is the business here. She's got a punch, plus punch in every location. So this is what we needed. Plus the wild from Luffy. So this is a true team effort. Alright, so Luffy uses his Gum Gum ability to fling her over this way. So the wild move, we'll use that as a move. Then Nami's going to punch. I think we've got enough here, so we're going to punch Buggy for 1. Then she's going to do Cyclone tempo in basically lightning bolts in every location. So Buggy's going to take another hit. Okay, and then 1, 2... Oh man, where were these Cyclone tempos when we needed to clear these locations? That's a bunch of... Oh, and also Cabbagey gets hit there too. I'm like, wait, is Cabbagey meant to be hitting all these guys over here? But there were no BAMs here, and there was no BAM here. So the last time Cabbagey did a hit, they weren't in that location, I'm pretty sure, so that's all good. Okay, phew. So Cabbagey, yeah, he takes a hit. Alright. Oh no, hold on, we did the damage there, didn't we? Yeah, we'll clear that. Alright, doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh, Nami, that was good. Okay. And then Zoro, he gets to draw a card. Oh, this is what we wanted. We wanted a choice of sword style. So this is, I wanted to show you this. I'm glad this one came up. 0 sword style. I haven't come across this, I don't think, in the show yet. I could be wrong, but I don't remember 0 sword style. So, discard all cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck. Does not cause a KO. Move all villains and thugs from this location to any locations of your choice. She causes a giant cyclone, and then draw a card, which is why you don't get KO'd. Even though technically you normally would get KO'd as soon as you do that, but like it specifies that you don't. So you basically get to sort of throw all the bad guys all over the place and a punch. So that would be pretty cool, but that's not what we need now, because we need to do 3 damage. And 3 damage, you say? Well, that just happens to be what Zoro's bringing to the party, plus the fact that Nami had this punch here as well, which is good. But turns out she didn't really need it. She could have actually used the other Cyclone template as well, I guess. But, although actually, yeah, if she hadn't have played this, she wouldn't have done the extra punch that she needed. So, yeah, that's good. Alright, so, is that right? I think that's right. If you have more than 3 cards in hand, discard down to 3. Well, we don't have that. Deal 3 damage to a single target. Well, I think I will. So let's do 3 sword style, and Buggy the Clown goes down, and there you have it. Wow. Oh my goodness. I've played against Buggy a few times now, sort of play testing him and that sort of thing, and it's just, there's been a lot of stuff going on just with family stuff sort of at the moment, just a bit of health and stuff like that, that sort of kept me from making some videos recently. But in the meantime, I have been playing Buggy, just sort of getting ready for this, and playing some of the other villains that we've got coming up as well. And he's a fun one. He's a nice, straightforward. He just he feels like a Marvel United villain. You know, just true, tried and tested. Nothing too over the top. Nothing too weird or wacky. Just a nice, good, solid villain design. And yeah, this one really went right to the wire. This boy, like I've had some games where like I've won fairly easily against him, and some where he's won, but this one really, the way that he almost won this one, and the way that we sort of kept in there and held out, and we got very lucky with some of the stuff there, that like where he landed right on Zoro for him to hit him with the let's see, make sure that's where he was going. He was here, wasn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, just very cool. I really like the story that it told. Yeah, and a really good chance to show off how each of the heroes that xnellynelx has designed as well. I think they all sort of had their moments to shine, especially taking Buggy down there in the last round. It all was a team effort, because we needed Luffy's wild to get the movement for Nami that she needed to be able to go in and do the damage that she could do with that, which was enough to then set Buggy up for that last one there too. We got to see a little bit of the damage blocking there from Nami. We got to see how Luffy sort of builds up his abilities there, and you've sort of got to be thinking about how would you, what's the best order to play those out in. Like I would have liked maybe the damage blocking one first, then the maybe then the double punching and that sort of thing as well. But all very good there, and yeah, the different sword styles with Zoro as well, and the way that his equipment lets him sort of like pull those back. So once you've played your sword style, that's not the end of it. Like you don't have to sort of give up that sword style for the rest of the game. You can get it back. This says at the end of your turn to recharge it, if you have played a hero card with no special effects, turn this face up. So if you give the sword styles a bit of a rest, that lets you flip this up, which is a pretty easy one to do as well. So that's not too bad. Yeah, I like that. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And I did mention that I wanted to sort of talk about, especially since it's been ages since I've sort of filmed a video as well, what a whole bunch of people are up to as well. So, speaking of xnellynelx, the designer of pretty much everything you see here, the locations, he's come up with these locations. He's come up with the sorry, not the models, but he's come up with the heroes and the villain as well. He's working on a whole bunch of stuff. So he's got and we will show off more of his One Piece stuff, but he's also made a whole bunch of My Hero Academia stuff, some of which we've shown off, but he's got 2 actual villains now, essentially, that you can fight against. We didn't have any villains for My Hero Academia United until recently, so he's now come up with, but they're very different villains essentially. One is more like a mode, so you don't really fight against, you do have a villain in the middle of the game which sort of represents like a robot or something, but essentially you're going through the My Hero Academia high school entrance exam sort of thing, so that's a really cool one. Or is it a university or is it a high school? I forget whether, I think it's a high school. I forget. But yeah, the entrance exam here is this sort of mode where you get these different missions that come up as sort of like a bank of missions that you can go for, and you're running around trying to clear those to earn points to win the game before the villain achieves their mission sort of thing. It's a really fun one, so I hope to film that soon as well. The other one he's done is there's a big thematic battle where a bunch of villains attack the students at their high school at the end of the first season. So he's got that big assault on the university mission as well, which is a villain. So essentially it's like 3 different villains, and you have to sort of fight them all at the same time, and that looks like a fun one as well. So looking forward to trying those out as well. So much to film, so much to try and play test and get through for these guys, but that's a good one. He's also been working on a whole new series of themes. So he's got if you like the Netflix Castlevania show based on the old video game, he's got a bunch of villains and heroes set in that world, more based on the Netflix anime rather than the video game, but I think he might branch out into that once he once he gets through that. He's also, if you're familiar with the Sentinels of the Multiverse series of games, it's like a whole alternate sort of superhero world. There's a bunch of board games set in that world. He's doing heroes and villains for that as well, and I'm quite excited about that one because I've backed I think it's called Freedom 5, which is this very late Kickstarter, but if it does deliver, there's a lot of cool models that I'll be able to use in this game with his Multiverse United there, so that'll be good. And he's also revisiting some of his older stuff. I think he's done some Naruto stuff as well, so he's going back and having a look at that as well. So lots of great stuff coming from xnellynelx. Now, our other major One Piece United homebrewer goes by the name of Helios23. He's been working on a lot of stuff at the moment. His big thing he's sort of doing at the moment is working on some sort of radical redesigns of how to do villains as well. I don't want to give too much away in case he sort of doesn't want to sort of announce too much of that too soon sort of thing, but lots of good stuff coming there. But he does have, just after I filmed the video with the other villains that we looked at, he's done a new villain called Enel, or I think I know him as Enaru from the English version of One Piece, but Enel is a really cool villain and uses a really interesting, he set up a really interesting sort of system with the way the locations work in that battle too, so look forward to that one as well. So I'm going to try and show that one off at some point down the track too. So, but done some play testing with that, and it works pretty fun. It's pretty good. And just you wait till you see the videos where I'm showcasing the different heroes. He's got tons. I'd say they're almost in the double digits now of the number of One Piece heroes you can get now, thanks to Helios23. So he's churning through them, and they're all really fun, all so fun. Kanji from Kanji Studios, he's been working. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's sort of done some upstart stuff previous, but he's currently working on the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. He's separating those guys out, Blob, Pyro, and Toad, from that team villain battle that they're in, and he's making individual heroes for that. He's already pretty much done Blob now, so there's a really cool version of that Dave, the version architect, has sort of laid out for him, and you can get that on the Marvel United Discord homebrew files there. So that's ready to go, and he's also playtesting Pyro and Toad, but they look like pretty good fun as well. And definitely check out his channel, because he's just finished, I think he's just finished his big massive campaign he's been doing with the guys from One Stop Co-op Shop, and he's been playing through that massive sprawling campaign that goes across both seasons that I think a guy named Dom put together and is on BGG, and you can get it at a bunch of different places because it's pretty popular, so definitely check that out. And if you haven't caught that campaign that he's been playing through, there's tons of videos for you to be able to go back and watch as well, so lots and lots of games there too. He's also done a great job showing off a lot of homebrew stuff that people have been putting out, and in particular he's just been playing through the TMNT stuff as well. They just did a big weekend of gaming, and that featured a few battles against the TMNT villains there as well, which is very cool. Speaking of Dave, he's been finishing off his Age of Apocalypse heroes and villains, sort of polishing them up. He's really been working on this. He's sort of setting up his own template for designing villains and making them look really authentic and looking really good. So he's checking. He's doing that stuff. He's also working on the Fandom is a website, I believe. You guys will be like, yeah, of course it is. Which hosts all these different wikis for all sorts of different pop culture and things like that. And he is helping set up the fandom page for Marvel United Homebrew, or Marvel United, and he's working on the homebrew section of that, because just like he's got that idea where he's built his own website called Marvel United Homebrew, where he's tried to gather all the different homebrew from around the internet. This is another way he's trying to sort of be able to give people a really good central place to go to, so you can go to this fandom site, which I have to admit, every time I sort of look something up, it tends to be one of the first websites that appears in the Google search, so it's really easy to find. So if you are designing homebrew stuff, definitely check that out. Maybe get in touch with Dave and see how it works and stuff. But essentially he's setting it up so you can edit your page and load your heroes in there, or your villains, and give an explanation of what they're about, and then have the links to where you can upload them or whatever. So definitely check that out. Not sure if it's quite live yet, but definitely worth looking at. Norlith, who's been doing a bunch of the Street Fighter stuff, has really launched into his World of Warcraft stuff, and I think he's really expanding that out as well. I think he's also doing some anime stuff too, based on Hellsing. I think the anime Hellsing as well, so he's getting into that as well. And what am I working on? I'm working on some Orochi Warriors. So in the video in the video with Andrew Fantasia, who has his own YouTube channel and also is on Digital Charcuterie, which is a great pop culture channel as well. We had a good chat about what IPs we'd like to see in Marvel United, and so I actually started working on the Orochi Warriors stuff. So started with the Warriors of the Shu Kingdom. So we've got Xiao Yun, Zhang Fei and Liu Bei to start with. Still currently working on Guan Yu, so hopefully he'll get up soon. Yeah, working on those guys. And I had done some Street Fighter stuff, and because I've been able to get into the Chibi, I think Big Head Chibi on Etsy, or Patreon I think they're on, and they do a bunch of Street Fighter Marvel United sort of style minis. I've noticed that they've done a Sagat model, so I've designed my first Street Fighter 2 villain, Sagat, and I'm still in the process of playtesting, I guess, him. So he's not quite ready yet, but I've put him on the drive, so if you go to Marvel United Discord, you can check him out and give him a bit of a playtest, but I'm not sure how balanced he is at this stage. I haven't actually played him yet, so I've just sort of designed him and put him in, but hadn't gotten to the table yet. But yeah, so I'm planning on expanding that Street Fighter 2 range out now that I've sort of got into those big head chibi miniatures. So they've got Blanca, who I've designed a character for. They don't have one for E Honda yet, so I hope they do E Honda because I've done a character for him. But they do have a Ryu, and they've got a Chun-Li and Ken. So I'm hoping to do a Chun-Li and Ken soon as well. To sort of, I'll try and make sure I sort of keep up with the models that they use there too. And speaking of models, the Orochi Warriors, the Dynasty Warrior guys, luckily, Zombicide, White Death have a bunch of Dynasty Warrior sort of themed models there too, so that's what I'm hoping to use for that version as well. So yeah, lots of stuff going on, and I've just started putting together some stuff for Brute Force. We were calling for Brute Force during the Multiverse campaign, and a bunch of us decided to sort of get together and do it ourselves, and I think apologies if I'm getting this wrong. I think it was Divided Sky, along with, I know definitely Mateo on Marvel United Discord is a big fan of Brute Force, but I think Divided Sky was the other guy who was championing them as well. I've done up a bunch of decks for most of the Brute Force team now. I've just got to do the Eagle, I think he's an Eagle, and the Dolphin, so they're coming. But yeah, so lots of stuff going on there. Boy, that's a lot of stuff. That's probably been half the video, just describing what people are working on. And there's still more. There's still so many more people there. I think the folks who are doing the DC United stuff are they're starting to load more stuff in there as well. Boy, who else? I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting, but you know, if you're into the homebrew stuff, or if any of this stuff seems intriguing to you, definitely check it out. But yeah, I hope this was good fun for you. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm not sure what I'll be back with next. Whether we'll go with another One Piece battle, or maybe delve into one of those other ones. But I'll probably try and do a few of these One Piece battles, just to be consistent for a little while, and then maybe swap into another realm. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys. Meeple Monkey out.